7.369. Come on, everybody on Starline, check your legs. We got some racing now.
That's that good.
Mile 260.331.
What they call an ass.
When I was a little kid in Illinois, I read magazines, saw magazines of, hot rod magazines and that sort of thing. And there was an article I remember, it was probably when I was in grammar school, maybe 7th, 8th grade. And the article was, I can't remember what the magazine was, but it said, Super Hot Rods. And it was an article about the Bonneville salt flats and the record, the speed record cars that ran at Bonneville, and they called them super hot rods, and that stuck in my head. I didn't get to Bonneville until 2 years ago. I knew a lot of people who had run there, but I had never actually seen it, and it's a very almost mystical place. I've driven sports cars, Indy cars, dirt sprint cars, and go-karts, and dragsters. So I should drive a Bonneville car too, so my resume will be full. It's exciting, it sounds exciting, and I think it would be. I've never gone 300 miles an hour in a race car before, and I think it would be a challenge and a thrill. The difference between this and any other kind of racing there is, any kind I've certainly done, is that this isn't a race. It's a contest, but it isn't a race. There's no wheel-to-wheel racing. The two cars don't run together at the same time. There's been a movie recently called The World's Fastest Indian about Bonneville. It's a it's not exactly a true story, but it gives a feel for what it's like. It's a whole different thing. The driver isn't nearly as important as the engineering, as the engine, the aerodynamics, the engineering in general. But it's a very team-oriented. Everybody has to do it right to set records. I think running a car like this is an opportunity, even though the actual, when you go up to Bonneville, everything's pretty low-key. It's what happens afterwards, the promotion that's done. You can make an effort like this, providing it's successful, into almost anything a company wants. They can use it very effectively, and showing the automotive industry, or the automotive audience for that matter, that they're a player in a very exciting business.
子供の頃のこの疑問がねあった。ガキの頃映画見に行くとさ、ニュースをやってね、映画の前に。それでね、海外ニュースっていうんでね、ボンネベルがよくやるわけ。でなんだかよくわかんないわけ。車がスピード出してるのはわかんないけど、どこを走ってんだか、そんな。堀も立ってるみたいに見えるしね。白でしょ。誰に聞いても分かんない。あれが何の走ってる。それがなんかいつも頭にあってね、あれなんだろう。すごい魅力的なわけ、そのスピードといい。なんかね。そこへ行ってやりたいっていうのは、なんかちょっと頭の奥にあった。
I first met Yoshi working on the BRE racing team. He came over in 1970, maybe 71, and worked on our team with us. He was just a very young kid, but he was a very fast learner, and he became a very significant aerodynamicist. But at that time, he was just a kid. I think the first time I knew Yoshi really had a lot of talent was when he modified a Z car for Brad Frizzell, a race car, 240Z, and I drove the car with Frizzell in a number of races, And Yoshi did all of the aerodynamics and the chassis work, and the car was very successful. He even made a wind tunnel, but he couldn't make a wind tunnel, so he made a water tunnel in his bathtub. And he made a model of the car, and he would put it in his bathtub with a camera and run it through the water and watch what the water did. It probably wasn't 100% of what the air would be doing, but it gave an idea of the aerodynamic qualities of the car, and I thought that was very ingenious. I drove the GTP car in 1987, 1988. Yoshi was the aerodynamicist on that team, the electromotive team, and later the NPTI team. And the car was extremely good. It totally dominated IMSA GTP racing from 1988 up through 1993, I think. Yoshi became one of the top race car aerodynamicists in the country.
ジョン・モートンの第一印象はずいぶんアメリカ人もちっこいやつがいるんだなと思ってちょっとだから近親感を感じてね、で非常に丁寧で優しい、何でも丁寧に教えてくれるんです、で英語は彼に習ってたんですよね、それドライバーとしても当時はもう格好を浴びせたからね、